Peace, y'all. You're tuned into the Edible Activist Podcast, and I am your host and favorite edible activist, Melissa L. Jones. On this show, we feed you empowering narratives and perspectives from the voices of emerging Black people and people of color in agriculture and business who are stewarding the land, healing communities, and advocating for food justice and economic power across the country. Their contributions and stories exemplify the spirit of activism in their own edible way. Let's get started. Peace and welcome to the Edible Activist Podcast. I am your host, Melissa L. Jones, broadcasting from Charismatic Creations with the homie, my homegirl, Chrissy Sheffey. Oh my goodness.
Hey girl.
Hey girl, hey. Y'all, we are popping up. I'm actually popping up at Charismatic Creations today, and I am so excited to be here, Chrissy.
I'm so happy you're here.
Oh my gosh.
It's so good to see you in the flesh.
So thank you so much. Always good, just good spirits, just great energy from Chrissy. For those of you who do not know, Chrissy was on the show, was it last year?
Yep.
Oh my gosh, 2020.
Yep.
2020. Episode 74, which we're gonna talk about in just a moment, but Charismatic Creation is a wonderful business that I love, support, adore. I don't even want to call it a mobile bartending business because it's more than that. You know, it's more than that.
Yes.
But, Chrissy is the CEO.
Yeah, the
founder, the creator, the ultimate mixologist, all of that, the garden lover. And she has this amazing business where she is just the creator of spirits, literally the creator of spirits.
Oh, I love that.
And, just the, not pride, but just, the joy that you have behind your brand, the knowledge, the expertise, the Black history, which is the piece that I love about Charismatic Creations, is just amazing. So
thank you.
I am so excited to be here chatting with Chrissy again. And I'm going to let her intro herself for those who did not catch that first episode. Number 74, go check it out. But just a little taste for about Chrissy. And then we're actually going to dive deep into some other things during this show. So
okay, perfect. Well, thank you so much for having me, Melissa. Hi, everyone. I am Chrissy. I am the founder and curator of Charismatic Creations. We curate cocktail experiences. So whether if that's with our mobile bar services, our non-alcoholic cocktail mixers, bottle cocktails, barware, and very dope events. Just trust me, it's going to be a cocktail experience. And yeah, I started in 2017 and it has transformed into something I didn't know it would transform into, but every single step of the way I've fallen more in love with it and wanted to evolve even more in different ways that I could imagine. But all in sense, I'm super in love with my business.
That's so beautiful. I felt that. Cocktails, but garden and cocktail, like
yes.
That's the piece. I left out garden, like there's a whole, that's the whole, like another element, to this business too, like your love for growing, your love for gardening and pulling in that agricultural piece into your business. It's like almost one of, a piece of the foundation too,
yes.
and what you believe in. So I'm excited just to dive more into conversations, but I just want y'all just to feel, the essence of Chrissy's business, the essence of her hard work, the essence of, everything that she does. And again, we're going to learn more, but we're going to dive into some other pieces. Again, episode 74, go check it out. You get to learn more about Chrissy's story and how she got started and pulling in, her collegiate, experience, from Black history, studying Black history, and then, just talking about the land and history. And again, all of that just is a part of Charismatic Creation. So we're talking about so much here, and it's just dope. It's all dope, girl.
With your homie.
With my homie. I love Chrissy. So when we spoke last year, we were in the thick of the pandemic, all right? It's still thick, y'all.
It's still thick, but we was in the unknown.
Yes, we were. It was a lot. It was unknown variables, still some unknown variables, but we really didn't know.
We was like in the bumper cars.
Right. Blindfolded. But you instantly, you shifted, and I felt like you shifted gracefully. That's me selfishly saying that because I'm in awe of everything that you do. But I just loved seeing more Chrissy on Instagram and doing the videos and muddling the blueberries and the strawberries and all that goodness. I just loved that so much. And so fast forward, still in the thick of things, but I'm not going to say many. We have an understanding of what's happening now, but you're still a business, still operating, which is just amazing. We know it's no picnic to be a business owner
at all.
And I just want to just spend a brief moment on and talking about what has been like that one like valuable thing that you've pulled, that you've gained during this shift. There's the shift happened, but there were lessons gained.
Absolutely. I've definitely learned that whatever I want with work and speaking to the universe and with speaking to my ancestors, I'm going to get it. And even through the pandemic when there was so much unknown, and even after signing the lease of my warehouse, so much was so unknown. But in that moment, that was me making a promise to myself, me speaking everything that I wanted into existence and then working. So whatever I want, I know as long as I work towards it, it's going to happen. And that's what's gotten me through.
Yes. I love Chrissy's warehouse. Like the warehouse is just dope. We and her, like, this is just dope that we're here in this warehouse, like where the creations happen. No pun intended. We sitting in front of the beverages with the dope labels, everything. I love this whole vibe. I do. But that's what's up because, it's so easy for any small business or just in general, like when just being in the thick of things, it's just so easy to feel like, hey, like I gotta pause, but you kept moving, and like you said, like and I'm a firm believer. You gotta be intentional about your words and your thoughts and what you believe. And if you believe that you can have a certain thing, then there it is. So I just wanted to start off with that because there have also been a lot of struggle stories.
Yes.
And I feel like we hone in a lot on struggle stories, but and not to discredit them.
No,
at all.
I've had a bit of struggle within the pandemic, but I didn't focus on that because honestly, for me, what I focus on is what happens in my life. And so if I know that I'm focusing on moving forward, focusing on success and making this work, that's going to happen. So I had to, sometimes I paused, but I could not revel in the success because I knew that's what I would become.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the things that, again, I swear this is just going to be, sorry, y'all, if y'all just think I'm gushing over Chrissy and her brand. I am. Like, let's just be real. Like, I am, and I always do, and she knows that. Like, she knows that. She's one of my favorite.
I love you so much.
But, one of the things that, I'm always learning, but one of the things that I love about what you communicate through your brand is you speak a lot to how black people and how black people were, let's not forget, like we were heavy in the spirits industry.
Absolutely.
And so forgotten because, when you think of the spirits industry, you think of the beverage industry, it's all white people. It's white counterparts, but we forget that part of history. Yes, we talk a lot about agriculture, obviously, on this show, but that all blends in as well. Everything blends in. And so I love how you like that is a lens within your business that I just need you to remind the people, Chrissy.
Yes.
Remind the people, okay, that we have always had a footprint.
We've always had a footprint. And for me, when I started the business in 2017, I was not very aware of the footprint. It took me being intentional about learning things and being around other bartenders who appreciated the start of the spirits industry and the Black mixologists who started mixology that allowed me to step into this with my full confidence in my full self. In the beginning, when you're working behind the bar, it's really about respectability politics and being super professional because that's how you make your money and you don't want to make anyone upset. Hospitality. But the true essence of hospitality is rooted in Black people. Like, we were cooking the food. We were serving the plates. We were breastfeeding the kids. We were like milling the farms. We were doing all of that. And for someone to say, we were crafting the cocktails.
Yes,
and to say all of that, and you are putting in so much sweat, labor, are you going to tell me that we weren't distilling their spirits? Like, y'all just decided to leave that part out.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, we were doing all these things. Mind you, they don't really give us the credit for, but yes, we found out that we were doing all these things, but the best kept secret was that we were distilling their alcohol, but you didn't tell us that. Oh, but now we know. And so since we know that, it's time to walk in it and being like, I'm walking into this space. I'm walking into any space, whether I'm the only Black person or the only Black woman. Let me emphasize that part of it, because being in a space and having other women there, and if they're not Black, you're still alone.
Absolutely.
So being the only Black woman, and sometimes being the only Black woman with a fro.
Yes.
When you're walking in a space,
yes,
you do feel alone. And for me, knowing all the knowledge, I confidently walk into these spaces. Like, I got R.R. Bowie and
Yes.
Dick Alexander.
yes,
And Butler all on my shoulder. Like,
Yes.
yep, we started this. Keep walking, Black woman. Keep walking. That's how I feel when I walk in all these spaces.
Gosh. Oh, I can hit on like a million things within just those last 2 minutes. See, oh, Chrissy. I have to respond, obviously. It really, it gets, I'm very honest, because as you all know, if you listen to any of my shows, like, we are complete transparency here. You made a point of just having to, when even being in the room with women, right? Like, no, but I am the only Black woman in here, because it's so easy to be grouped with women in general and think that all y'all are the minority. And it's just like, no.
It's not it. And I had to find the truth with that when I did a brand ambassadorship at a local woman-owned distillery. And while it was like super led with it being woman-owned, you really, really, really was covertly focused on like the color.
Yeah.
And so for me, I was like, I can't be in spaces where it's woman-owned. I can't do that. I have to be in spaces where it's Black women-owned, or lead with the idea that I am Black woman-owned.
Absolutely.
Capital B. That's why one of my cocktails that I did for Black History, it was an ode to the Black male mixologists that came before me. And the name of the cocktail was with a capital B. That was the name of the cocktail.
Yes.
Because I don't want to leave that part out, because that's, while I am a woman, I'm Black first.
Exactly. And by the end of the day, like, I still look at a white person, whether it is a white male or a white woman, as someone who is more privileged or has more privilege than me. And so there, so much more we can tap on that, but I definitely want to just rest that thought right there, because it's so easy to group women together, and it's just like, we are women here, as we're all in this together. We're not.
Yeah, we aren't.
We're not. Like, so, and something, y'all will get what I'm saying. You know, you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, so I just want, because you still have to navigate differently.
Yeah.
Let's talk, and you spoke to it just a little bit before, but like, talk about like just navigating this space as a Black woman in the spirits industry, but as an independent.
Yes.
Like, it
is tough. And it's tough for someone like me. This isn't where I started. Like, I started behind the bar. So I have all the techniques and the functionality of a behind the bar bartender, but for myself, I saw my future like beyond the bar. I wanted my impact to be beyond the bar. Like when you're working really long bar hours, you don't really have time to think about other people but yourself. And you can't really focus on your health. You can't really focus on volunteering. You can't really focus on anything because you're going to work at 3 p.m. and you're getting off at 1 a.m., 2 a.m. You're going to sleep. Well, you're probably going to go out afterwards, and then you're going to go to sleep, and then you're going to wake up at 1 p.m. for your 3 p.m. shift. So it was like a cycle that I saw, and I was like, I can't do this too much longer and get to know myself. Because when you're in such a cycle, you don't even get to know yourself.
You're on autopilot. Literally.
You're on autopilot. So I was like, I want to be in charge of my income. I want to do these things. So I have to step beyond the bar, and then you enter this beyond the bar space, and it's like you're completely cut off from society. That's how it feels.
Wow.
All of the education from spirit companies, that communication stops at the bar. So when you're beyond the bar,
what a metaphor. Oh my gosh.
It like stops. And so you don't get the extra master classes and the spirit classes and cocktail competitions. They don't extend that invitation to you because you don't have a bar home. So it like literally stops. And so you're like, oh my gosh, where do I go from here? And then where does my credibility come from because I'm not behind the bar anymore? And so it's literally having to reintroduce yourself. And then putting yourself in uncomfortable conversations and spaces, literally, to be like, I own a mobile bar service. Because at first, people want to get to know you because you're in a new space and you are a new, fresh face, even though my face has been in the industry before, but I'm walking in this space new because I'm a business owner now. And then it's like, oh, it's just mobile? Okay. I'm just like,
not just.
And so, you gotta brush your shoulders off and be like, it's okay. I'm gonna keep going back into that space again. I'm gonna keep going back into that space again. But I'm not gonna force anyone to see my value. I'm just gonna keep working independently so they can see it on their own. So Instagram has been really important for my business and for myself as a branding tool to show that, yes, I'm a mobile bar service, but I'm also a dedicated hospitality professional. I'm also dedicated in this and I'm dedicated in that. So it's been tough to navigate independently, but I didn't let any of these cuts and bruises be seen on Instagram. I have to keep pushing. And through all of that, I've pushed my brand to where it is now, to a place where I'm so proud of myself. Like, I am so proud to not allow those cuts and bruises and doors being shut and emails being ignored and things like that to like stop me.
That's a perseverance.
It's hard to navigate, but you just have to navigate and you have to believe in yourself. And when you believe in yourself and your brand, you just keep going and they just have to catch up.
Oh, y'all heard it. Let me take a sippy sip on that one. Catch up. I know that's right.
You just got to catch up because I'm going to keep going.
Yes.
And then when you finally see where I'm at, then we can have another conversation. And I'm going to always be open to the conversation. But then the conversation looks a little bit different because now I'm in the front seat.
Yes.
Next, I was trying to ride your coattail. I was trying to hang on to your driver door, passenger side door. And now I'm in the front seat driving. Yeah. And it's like, yeah, we can have this conversation. You can hop in.
Yeah. I'm steering this boat, honey. All right. Okay.
But you have to, the mind state has to be there or you will get broken.
Absolutely. Listen, so I really don't want to label this as like a mama, we made it situation, right? Because you made it even before this, which I'm about to talk about. So when Charismatic Creation and the mastermind behind Charismatic Creation, Chrissy, made it into the New York Times.
Oh my goodness. Let me tell you. It was such an amazing moment. I was here. It was, I want to say November 30th. I was in this warehouse It was me and one of my team members, and we were packing orders. We were in the thick of it, okay? And one of my Instagram followers DM'd me and was like, oh my gosh, you're in the New York Times. And I was like, I'm in a what? Like, I had an interview with someone, but that was like months ago. So, you know, like, you just thinking, oh, it's going to drop tomorrow, it's going to drop tomorrow. And then you're like, it's never going to drop. He's not going to drop this article. And then 2 months later, it dropped. And I was in an article, a part of the cocktail mixer renaissance. So 50 years ago, when the cocktail mixer came about, it was invented to make the bartender's life easier, not to make cocktails good. Like, oh, this is basically a prepackaged thing. You just add the spirit, boom, dish it out to your guest. Now, the cocktail mixer has the craftsman at the heart of it. It has someone who loves cocktails at the heart of it. And so they're going to be flavorful. They're going to be fresh. There's going to be so much intention. And to be a part of that renaissance, it's like,
Mama,
we made it. And I was the only Black person a part of that lineup. And I was the only Black woman a part of that lineup. And it's still my Twitter name. It's still pinned everywhere. The New York Times, that was me.
You earned that.
I'm still gushing.
Yes, we earned that. And here's the thing, too, because as someone who's the keeper of our stories, it's so important to hold on to that. Pin it. Because, you know, they'll try to erase, you know, like, Chrissy who? No, this is it.
That's a badge.
Exactly. That is a badge. Mm-hmm. You earned that. You made it before then. Let's just be very clear.
I mean, if we gonna call it a spade,
a spade, honey. Okay. All right. But no, shout out to New York Times. That was amazing. When I saw that, I was just like, oh my God.
I was in here screaming. I cried. I laughed. I was excited. I gave my fiance a hug. We cheers. It was just like, wow, like the New York Times.
That's big.
Like, I haven't been picked up by anyone local, but the New York Times picked me up. That was just like, pow. Girl, keep going.
Oh my gosh. I just want to sit here and just like relish in all of this, you know. So it all
I've been relishing in it. Making with my relish, I've been making tuna fish, potato salad. I just got it's a lot of relishing over here with it. Okay, I don't want anyone to, and no one can like brush that to the side. It's the New York Times for me.
Absolutely, yes. Well, you know, we got our ancestors to thank, right? And you shout out some of your ancestors.
We do,
and the other thing that I just want to talk about, like, I got to talk about your branding. I just have to talk about it because it's not just branding. We're talking like Black icons that you just see on Charismatic Creation and just like the essence of who we are. And like, I'd be sitting there like, what was it like just chilling in the living room with them, like, you know, having a drink, a beverage, you know, some bourbon, just like, what?
Yeah. And I started that project literally after I did the Back to Black pop-up. So shout out to AJ.
Shout out AJ, yes.
Shout out AJ.
Oh my gosh.
So I was a part of the Back to Black pop-up in August of 2020. And that's when I curated flowers for Natsaki. And Natsaki Shenge, she holds like a really special place in my heart because I played Lady in Green in high school.
Did you? I didn't know that.
Play. Oh my gosh. I played Lady in Green in high school, and I went to a predominantly all white girls school basically, and to have my theater teacher make sure, a white man, he made sure that play got approved to be one. So we would do 2 plays a year, and that was our spring play. And he made sure that play got approved. And that meant a lot to us, not at the moment because we don't really understand when you're like 16, but thinking back on it, that's like, wow. He kind of literally stuck his foot out or his neck out or whatever, how you say it. And we were Lady in Green, and a lot of the girls in the school didn't like that because they were excluded from casting because it was all Black girl play. And we persevered on, and the play went great every single night. And when I was asked to be a part of it, I was like, I have to honor her, because, you know, being a Black woman is a metaphysical dilemma.
Oh, gosh.
And I, you know, wanted to make sure that, like, as I walked through this and continue to do everything, like, I didn't understand that then, but I understand it completely now. And I wanted to make that cocktail a full essence of me. So it was with Hendrick's gin that has infused with red roses. It had pea flower syrup, which is a flower. It had Domaine de Canton, which is a ginger liqueur. It had fresh lime juice. It had Saint Germain, which is an elderflower liqueur. And it was garnished with 2 black-eyed Susans, because she died in her home in 2016 or 18 in Maryland, which is the Maryland State flower. And then it was also garnished with mint flower.
Oh, my gosh.
So it was, every single piece was very, very intentional. And I wanted to make sure I had the right amount of lime juice to make sure that pea syrup went from blue to purple. So that was the beginning of what my storytelling and this project of Charismatic Creations was birthed. So that's where that started. And every single month I have released like 3 to 4 different cocktails. And all of the figures have not been Black, but 97% of them have. And they've been Black people that I really love or have resonated with me, or a person of color, or like,
I think I saw
we had Macaulay Culkin and Mrs. Doubtfire, because those
movies I all watched growing up.
Yeah, and that was like the essence of my childhood.
Yes,
like,
absolutely.
Robin Williams,
yes,
was my childhood. So he had to be on a cocktail, and Macaulay Culkin had to be on a cocktail.
And if you ain't watch Home Alone, I'm trying to tell you,
you can't revoke your Black card. But it's a card that we got to take from you, because you should have seen that.
I still watch it to this day when it comes to
So, like,
I've even seen Selena on one of the bottles, right?
Yes, Selena's on one of those bottles.
Selena.
I love that movie. Growing up, I thought J-Lo was Selena because she did so good.
We all did too, okay?
And she was born in April, so that's why I did her for April. I was born in April. Billie Holiday was born in April.
So intentional.
Everything is very, very intentional, even down to the herbs and who I buy them from. Everything about my business is very intentional, and even the business aspect is intentional. Like, when people think about hospitality professionals, they just think we making drinks. And for some people, they probably are.
Yeah.
But for me, I can't be a creative if my business isn't in order. So everything that I do as far as Charismatic Creations, whether it's creatively or professionally, is all intentional.
Oh my gosh. Chrissy, if like, all right, let's just say like one night, right? I'm in the house and I'm just trying to like,
finesse
something. Make something out of nothing, okay? Like, right? I'm trying to finesse because she knew I was going with it.
When I seen the hand just waving, like, you trying to finesse, but we gonna make it through.
I wish I was here. I love this so much. Just the two of us, right? Help me out. I'm trying to finesse something. And not for nobody else, for me.
Yeah.
This is for me.
It's for you.
But
So
I want to be cute in the moment.
Finesse?
Okay, I'm all about like the bubbles. I love anything that sparkles, right? But it don't gotta be necessarily a sparkle. I love anything that sparkle. So I got some sparkle, or I got something flat, or I don't know. I got some spices. I maybe got a lemon. A lime. You will probably see a lime before you see a lemon. I got a lime.
Okay.
But there may be some other things, right, around me that I'm not thinking about. Like, I keep raw honey on deck, or, you got
any fruit there other than that lime?
Maybe the lime might be right now, figs.
Okay.
Figs. If we're talking real time, figs.
Yeah, we could do that.
But I'm just trying to finesse something. I'm like, I know I can do something with this, know? But it's like, what can I do? Now, I know you could finesse it within a minute, but I'll be over here struggling like...
But see, here's the thing. One thing that I love about what I do with the brand is like these mixology 101s, because I want people to know that you can elevate your cocktail experience at home. You just need a little bit of knowledge. So, all right, so you threw some ingredients at me. So this is what I'm thinking. Okay,
it's like about to be the cipher over here. The way she is started.
You gotta get your body right. I'm over here like dancing. You gotta get it right because how you feel is gonna go into that cocktail.
She about to spit a whole cipher. All right, sis, I'm here.
Okay, so you have your lime. You're gonna always freshly squeeze any citrus. So we're gonna freshly squeeze that lime juice. You're gonna add some fig in there. Any spirit that you want. You're gonna add some honey in there. Ice. We're gonna shake it. We gotta bruise that spirit. So
and I got your cocktail shaker, so I got that, honey.
We're gonna shake. Ice is very important. We're gonna shake, and then I want to strain it into like a champagne flute because you mentioned having some bubbly. So we're gonna strain it into a champagne flute, and then we're gonna top it off with that bubbly that you had, and then it's gonna be some sort of like contemporary French 75, and then bam, like. That's your cocktail, and it's going to ease you and however you want it to make you feel that day.
Oh, my gosh. See?
You can finesse it at home. You just got to put intent into it.
See, y'all.
Instead of just throwing things in the glass.
She didn't threw y'all a tip. I ain't the only one that be trying to finesse. I know y'all be trying to finesse, too. Chrissy, I need to spend some time talking about your love for the garden. Your love for the garden. Your love for it. That's a part of Charismatic Creations.
Yes.
Like you said, you were intentional about who you source from, Black and brown growers, farmers, like y'all, there's just so much to this. But the audience has got, especially for those, if this is your first time here from Chrissy, like she loves the garden. She loves the garden. And we actually spent some time talking about this in episode 74. Got to put it back out there. But I just want to park here for a moment, because it's part of your brand. It's part of what you do. And, I love it.
Yeah. I'm being very intentional with where I'm sourcing because like the garden and the cocktail is something I've been focused on. I'm staying true to it, and it's essentially a part of my brand. And we all know that these Black and brown farmers have the least amount of access to capital. And a lot of these farmers, they are placing their farmers in urban spaces so the marginalized people around them can either learn how to grow their own food or get food from them. So that's important too. And I grew up with the garden. My father, ever since I could remember, he's a serial entrepreneur. And ever since I could remember, he's owned a landscaping company. And so he's always been about the designing of the landscape. So he helps you not only maintain your property, but helps design your flower beds. And he knows so much about flowers and which mulch. And he's like really in love with it too. He's a farm boy from West Virginia. So he's really in love with it too. And when I was little, we started a garden. And, I mentioned it on episode 74.
74. Okay.
I mentioned that, but we started a garden together, and I was so pressed. And I would go out there every day like, why isn't anything growing yet? But as I got older and, went to boarding school and college, I was separated a bit from the land, but I needed to find a way to marry it again. And so my business allows me to marry it again, but also supporting other people.
I love it. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes. Well, that leads into my next thing because you've been having some things brewing that I'm so excited. When I saw the post, I was like, yay!
I'm so excited.
Another creation.
And it's literally another creation. It's like the creations keep creating over here.
All right. So we are going to talk about Spirited Soul Garden. Because we spent some time, we took y'all on a little journey. Again, episode 74. If y'all want some more, some more context, some more fruit. Okay. Like 74, but this is dope as well. But Chrissy's love for the garden, obviously her passion, in the spirits industry for people, and really, I just love like you just breaking down like the meaning of hospitality. It just put a lot of things in perspective for me, especially as a former event planner. and hearing hospitality, you know, for a long time, I thought I was in the hospitality industry. I thought I was in that moment.
Yeah.
But, you know, it just puts so much in perspective for me. But the other piece, Chrissy loves sneakers, y'all. She a sneakerhead. She a sneakerhead.
I am.
And just talk about like marrying like all your passions, like marrying the lamb, but marrying all your passions together, fusing them together like a wonderful cocktail.
Like the brand is branded, right? Yes, everything is all coming together, and that's my most favorite part about entrepreneurship. Like things start to marry together because you're intentional in each lane.
Yes.
So, I've been in the hospitality industry for 11 years. I served in the beginning, and then once I turned 21, I got behind the bar. So I've been in there for 11 years. I started collecting sneakers. I've been collecting sneakers for 21 years.
Man.
And so when I stopped to think about it, I'm like, oh my gosh, that is such a long time. And then like I mentioned before, I've been in love with agriculture my whole life. So I was like, how do I put all these things together? And like not with much thought, but definitely with much intent as I got the idea. But not with much thought, I'm like, oh, a spirited soul garden. I could do this. I'm in the spirits industry. I wanted to play on the word soul. So whether you're reading it and you see S-O-L-E or you're saying it out loud, it can go S-O-U-L, however you want to say it. And then garden, because that's at the root of everything, literally. And so the Spirited Soul Garden is a event that I am curating because, one, I want to gather people in a space to learn and enjoy spirits. I want to support Black and brown local farmers and gardeners in the area. And with sneakers, I want to make sure that we're donating to people who need them. So it's going to be fun. What we're doing is we have a lot of sponsored partners that are sponsoring, either powering the event with financially or in-kind sponsorships with the spirits. So we're going to be crafting cocktails in a zero-proof beverage too. And the proceeds are going to go to us purchasing new shoes and donating it to local organizations who can provide them to the people in the communities who need them. And so the two gardeners / farmers that I'm featuring for this event is Niraj Ray of Cultivate the City.
Shout out to Niraj.
Niraj
oh my
is,
gosh.
he literally cultivates the city.
Literally.
Like, and then Doug Adams of New Brooklyn Farms.
Shout out Doug. Yes.
Shout out Doug.
Mount Rainier.
Yes. And, you know, me being a sneakerhead, it was only right that I want other people to show up in their flyest sneakers, their favorite sneakers. And what I want to do is, you know, I want to show people that, you know, I mix in my favorite kicks.
Oh my gosh.
And I can't wait to see how this event like becomes what it is. Like the mobile bar services, I love a lot, but for me, this is me at the head of it. Like as far as mobile bar services, I have to wait for people to book us. But when I'm curating my events, I'm in the lead. Like I'm in charge of what that looks like for my brand. And this is my first event and I cannot wait. Shout out to AJ again. It's going to be at Serenata.
Yes. Love Serenata. Shout out to AJ, beverage director, connoisseur, everything. Throw her flowers. She's
everything. Flowers for everything.
Just a scholar.
Just everything. And a like a community servant in the way because she serves in so many different ways.
She really does.
Whether it's for the community or for other bartenders, like she's a vessel that we can use and she allows that. And for me, I'm just super grateful for that. So it'll be at Serenata and I cannot wait to see people in their sneakers.
Yes.
I can't wait to raise money. I can't wait to craft cocktails with my team, my Black woman team. We'll be there looking bomb, crafting bomb cocktails and everything. I love my girls.
Oh my gosh. Shout out to the team.
Shout out to the team. Those girls are my backbone. When people ask me, like, how did you find them? I can't take the credit. They found me. So we'll be at the event.
Yes.
And we're excited.
Yes. Speaking of your girls, you got an extended community, right? Like you part of like an amazing community. Fun fact, y'all, go look this up. Chrissy is a Spice Girl. Yes. A Spice Girl. If you don't know what that is, y'all missing out, all right? She is a bomb Spice Girl, which is an amazing community. Shout out to Angel, the Spice Suite.
At the Spice Suite.
Like just really dope things happening. I know that more right now you guys are, are part of a market and just another amazing community and opportunity. So just want to touch on that real quick.
So the Spice Girls, is 19 of us. We have a store on Connecticut Avenue, 1025 Connecticut Avenue until the end of 2021. And you could come in there, you can shop all of our uniquely sourced and handcrafted items from each of our businesses. And just being a part of, that group of women has allowed me to see that there's no limits. Like the sky isn't the limit, it's just the view. And so while I'm looking at the sky, I may pass it. I may go into space, but
that's what the billionaires at apparently anyway.
Girl, let me tell you. Look how we walked into that. Cheers on that one.
Cheers, okay?
And so while we on our way to space, I can look next to me and there's a black woman next to me on her way there too. So shout out to the Spice Girls. Just being around black women that are like persevering helps you continue to persevere.
Yes.
It shaped the business so much.
Y'all go stop by the market. I'm gonna be there. Go, and it's inching towards the holidays, and y'all be buying last minute. You be waiting to the last minute, so the market is set up. It's been set up, so go, okay?
Yes,
go. The trains are, I think they working. Just find a way. Uber, Lyft. Listen, the scooter. I mean, you we got. Listen, you want to ride? Like, just let me know. But no, shout out to the Spice Girls and shout out to Spice Suite. Just again, another amazing community of black women entrepreneurs.
Yes.
So, and I look forward to visiting you. I typically do a rapid fire, right? So we're going to round out the show. This has been can I come back?
Yes, you can come back. I love this.
Oh my gosh. This is
a podcast with my homegirl.
Yes.
I'm enjoying it.
Like we are chilling, y'all. Like we are in the
Straight
warehouse.
chilling.
Like I love it. I love like raw spaces, but like, and when I say raw, that's not, like I just love like raw spaces, but everywhere in our glory, right?
Yeah.
With like Chrissy's brand. So the bottles, where it goes down, we sitting on these beautiful like burnt orange like it's just the whole vibe is just here. Can't you hear the echo, y'all? Sorry, y'all not here. Maybe next time.
We're sipping on some
bourbon.
She got some rosé, so this is a good time.
It is. So again, typically I do a rapid fire. We've done a rapid fire, but I want to go back to the land, right?
Yes.
Talk about being married to the land. I don't know if you own land. I want to ask a question around land. If you came into a piece of land, if you already don't have land now, if you do, all right, girl, let's do your thing. What would you do with it? Like, what would that look like for you? Like, because I don't know. I thought I wanted to ask that earlier, but like, and we could talk. It could be an acre. It could be a plot.
Right.
I have in my mind what I think Chrissy would do. I just see Chrissy and all these like flowers and earth. I just see that,
Yeah.
But land ownership is a whole nother conversation that we've touched on multiple times here.
Yeah.
And if I could have anything for my people is some land, whether they want it or not,
Right.
Because when we talk about the foundation of our history and what was stripped from us, it was the land.
Yep.
But what would that look like for you or for Charismatic Creations?
For Charismatic Creations, so it's so funny you asked me this question. If I were to ever own a piece of land, it would definitely be a piece of land that I owned, but would not contract it out, but it would be cared for by local high school students.
Ooh, I like that.
And so, and I already have a name for it and everything. It's called like Fair Hill Dreamers. Like I grew up on Fair Hill Drive in Suitland. And when we think about food deserts, we forget the outskirts of DC, PG County. And so PG County is within the Beltway, is starting to become this food desert. Mm-hmm. So if I did own land, it would be land that would be essentially a farm, garden, fresh flowers, fresh fruit, fresh vegetables that high school students would come and maintain. And then I would use it for what I need to use it for as far as the brand and cocktails and mixers and things like that. But it would be for that.
Oh my
because
gosh.
is when you see when you are like taking care of something from seed to like blossom, you really look at food differently, and it empowers you to be like, nobody can take life away from me, because if I don't have anything, I know how to grow something.
Right.
If I have a seed that what they used to do was cornrow in their hair when they came over, and then plant the seed again so they could have food that they were used to. If someone can take something from seed and to grow again, no one could take life from them. So yeah, that would be what it is. And I love, it's something about teenagers that I love, like the honesty. They know who they are.
Yes.
It's like, you know who you are when you're a teenager, and then as you get up into like the later days of high school, you lose yourself a bit because you listen to people, and then in your late teens and then 20s, you lose yourself because you listen to people, and then you know who you are in your 30s again. But one thing about high schoolers, it's like my niece is in high school and she knows herself.
Yes.
So I would like to focus on high schoolers.
Oh, I love that so much. I see that. That's going to happen.
Yeah.
And I know who I was in high school. Y'all couldn't tell me nothing.
Same.
Parasucos and all, okay? Lime, Sergio's, Confident. That's so true, though.
Yeah, it's like when you're in high school, it's like you know yourself. And if you stay with the right people, you'll continue to know yourself. But then it's like once you hit the real world,
yeah,
it's like you lose that confidence that you had in high school. So I want to focus on those high school students and be around people, the kiddies sort of, who know themselves. They're kiddies-ish, who know themselves, and like plant in them while they're planting into the ground, but me plant in them, like, don't lose yourself when you leave high school.
Oh, I love message. I love that so
Yeah.
much. Chrissy, where can folks find you? On the interwebs.
On the interwebs. People can find me at Charismatic Creations on Instagram and Facebook. And then the website is charismaticcreationsevents.com.
Yes.
And then on, if you want to take a ride up to Waldorf, on some Saturdays we do retail from 12 to 5, and the address is in our bio. So yeah, that's where they can find me.
Listen, are you doing any mixology, like any virtual mixology class? Come on, let's push that.
So we're still doing virtual classes.
Awesome.
And then we've started our in-person classes at the warehouse again.
Okay, cool.
And so we also post those on the website as well. Our first one since 2019, well, the beginning of 2020. I forget the beginning of 2020 existed. But our first in-person, like just hosted by us, was in August 2020. So we're doing those monthly. And so, yes, come check us out virtually. Come check us out in person, and get all this love.
Yes. Oh my gosh, Chrissy, this has been great.
It's always great.
It's always great. I don't expect anything less. I'm talking about just the intention, your spirit, and just everything, all the things. And I am honored to be in your space.
And I'm honored you came to my space.
Yes, of course, we made this happen. So thank y'all for listening, and peace.
See ya.
Thanks for tuning in. You can catch today's episode on fullserviceradio.org, as well as iTunes and Spotify. Be sure to follow Food Talks in Color, that's just the letter N, on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter for all updates. And did you know we're on Patreon? This is a way for you to support our podcast by taking action and amplifying the mission of BIPOC voices on Edible Activists. Depending on the level you choose, we'll shout you out on the show, send you a t-shirt, get access to bonus content, and you might even have a chance to chat with me one-on-one. Visit foodtalksincolor.com to learn more. And are you an edible activist? Have a story to share? Visit the website to connect with me. Peace and blessings. And remember, in the great words of Baba Tariqa Dunu, there is no culture without agriculture.